Recently, I was asked a couple questions about when I started my company and why. So I want to try to answer that in a fairly quick video here. My brother and I started Thompson Thompson back in '97. There was a hailstorm back then, and I was just getting out of college, and he was young, fairly newly married, probably a couple years in, had a young child, and we grew up in the business roofing with my dad and uncle, and had the opportunity to start Thompson Thompson, kind of as a branch off of what our grandpa Chester had started years earlier, back in the 30s. And so we got together and talked and discussed it with my dad, who at the time was working for his brother and with his brother. So we asked him, my dad, kind of for permission, and I asked my cousin kind of what he thought would happen when my uncle retired, which ended up being 20 years later. We decided to take the plunge, not really knowing what we were getting into, but knew that we both worked hard and we could rely on each other. And so we incorporated, talked to an accountant named Bob Muntrath, who kind of got us started in the right direction with our certifications and licenses and that sort of thing. And so back in '97, we started Thompson Thompson, doing basically subcontracting work for my uncle and dad, and then worked into doing our own projects as well. And that's grown over the years into roofing and siding and gutters and attic insulation. For a few years, we did some window installations as well. Yeah, it's been good. We're excited. This is going on our 28th year, I believe. We started in March or April of '97. You know, some years are better than others. This has been a very busy year for us. It's been a good year. And some years are slower and you're wondering where the next job's coming from. But one thing, looking back, growing up in the business and kind of seeing how my dad did things and my uncle and cousin, you realize that God always provides. So some days you don't know where the next job is, and other days you just don't know when the next job's going to end. But God gets you through it, and that's one thing that we've learned over the years. So once again, I'm Jim Thompson with Thompson Thompson, and somebody kind of asked me to share my story, and so that's what I'm trying to do in as quickly of a time as possible without leaving anything out. So if you have further questions, happy to answer them for you. My cell phone, 402-306-5834, and we'll talk to you later.